Okay, so this is just a quick psychological evaluation from witness and therapist Brittany Henderson, who has now been with me all the way from Newbury Park to Sherman Oaks, a little further out, probably more up to Studio City, and she has witnessed at every single location we've ever been at, insane amounts of people attacking me with passive-aggressive hidden messages, trying to create the appearance of schizophrenia or ideas of references and paranoia and other things like this. Just going from things, obsessional looping tactics, trying to make it look like I suffer from obsession, all sorts of things, just switching and changing, trying to make it look like I suffer from anxiety disorders, all sorts of weird things like this that don't make any sense. With the police, government, worldwide support, which starts 42 years ago at 5 years old. All the people growing up were told to try to set me up, frame me, falsify lie after lie, friends saying I've threatened her life, my mother saying I've threatened her life, my father working on these tactics as well, you name it, and just going from person to person, place to place, from random person. People like Susan Stieber, when I lived in the University of Colorado, saying I want to meet you off IRC, coming down from Nebraska to meet me, staging these cheeseball operations with the police and government, saying that guy over there is a stalker and hopes she can scare and intimidate me and make me look like I'm on the run or have done something like this. Throughout my entire life, people like Tom Farley, Rhodey Morales, Mike Huntley, Aubrey Fisher, and 100,000 others sent into my life to, okay, maybe not 100,000, but every single person I've been in contact with, befriending me, Jeff Siegel, sent in my life to try to either set me up, frame me, make it look like I'm crazy, make me mentally ill, appear to be mentally ill. Some of the LAPD's fabricated lies, especially out here in Topanga Division. Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, even recorded conversations from them when I wanted them to come down and see what these people were doing, like putting lizard tails on my welcome mat and things like this. You name it, which the police said, no, we're not going to look because you're a violent paranoid schizo, and then threatening my life, all recorded. In non-direct ways, for example, the police says to his other partner, let's do him at Topanga, where they had security guard John Paul Naranjo try to bash my skull in physically, 7 blows to the head, which they're trying to cover up. The judicial system is actually trying to cover up all these things. They're not concerned that people are committing crimes against me now all day and night, 24/7 for 42 years. Even right now, just taking a simple walk and seeing a good 10 people come out trying to passive-aggressively provoke me with the clothing colors and the mass groups of cars and twos. Example, 2 gray Civics on this side by the gate where I walk out, 2 gray Civics together, one in front of the other on that side where I walk out, a gray Civic in the Metro complex across from me with, they've parked a gray Civic that they've left here for like a month now or whatever. In my view, and the only small view where I could possibly see a car kind of in their parking lot. Now remember, this isn't just here, it's everywhere I've ever been, everywhere I've ever lived, with a mother that keeps telling me to move over and over, trying to get me to move in. At one point, example, Colorado, they sent a guy into my house and squat, not pay any rent, and then move into my room and force me out of my place, working with the police, and the police mad at me for calling the police in Colorado, what's going on. Back then, not knowing and just saying this guy's squatting and doing these freaky things, to find out years later, now they're trying to turn it around like everything else on me, saying I somehow am trying to get rid of people and this and that. And then they play these games like if I go on social networks worldwide, people attacking me in anger and rage, and then they'll say weird things in coffee shops and restaurants, and then they'll say if you don't like it there, why do you keep going back trying to make it look like obsession and things like this, or that I have a problem or this and that. Right? And these are government operations that go right up to the White House, which we've proven with policeabuse.com, Don Jackson, Kamau Diop, private investigator Greg Miller following me not only to local places here, as we drove around all across the U.S., proving this, especially Washington, D.C. for something like 10 days, at Starbucks, Coffee Beans, random shopping malls, and the White House of the United States of America, where White House security was following me all through the city in an obvious manner as I left the tourist section with a camera with 100 other tourists in front of the White House, showing that there was literally a mass worldwide murder extermination operation with the police and government and psychology community since 5 years old, with daily changing psychological labels and daily changing criminal labels and daily accusations of how I've done this and I've done that, blah blah blah, putting this all into what they call their laundry list of lies and bullshit to try to make my extermination or my eradication look justified, and I'm supposedly a violent paranoid schizo, attacking and hitting and doing all these things to people. And then it switches, of course, to pedophilia and kitty porn and car thief and this and that. And the list is literally in the thousands of these fabricated lies. Even people in the Metro here claiming that I have screenshots of from blogs. Don't talk to Kevin, he's a violent paranoid schizo. And whenever I go out and take walks, people walk by trying to provoke me. Example, maybe two people are walking by and they'll mimic my Twitter or Facebook or Instagram posts to each other, trying to get me to go after them. Things like this. Now, or mimic behaviors, or the cars and twos, or people pulling up cars and twos as I'm sitting on steps, or you name it. These tactics are in the thousands and thousands and thousands, and they're literally on KevinPerlmanTarget.com, kind of going through, you know, who knows, maybe a good 400 of them as I would document. Now today they had 10 people follow me into the restaurant I went to get food, wearing all black, and things like this, right? Okay, so the bottom line is that the Topanga Division LAPD here, along with every other police station worldwide, are trying to cover up this mass crime spree and murder operations to either torture me to death until my nervous system gives out, or try to force me into some kind of cage that links back to a father, Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman, as I was born in Merced, California, on Castle Air Force Base, which has been decommissioned and now a museum, which opened up in 1941, so you can understand my family running around with the psychology community saying that I'm a violent paranoid schizo who thinks he's in the army, all sort of link back to what my father was doing when I was born with my mother and brother and family to hunt me down and have me eradicated. Now what you need to understand is that if you want to understand my father's personality, he put shock collars on his dog, like we had a Rhodesian Ridgeback Rhoda, which later on they sent Rhodey Morales after me. Also sending Kelly Hatch to follow me out from Calabasas High to Southern Oregon State College, wanting me to see the movie The Bad Seed, hinting that I'm the bad seed, and weird freaky things like this while she was working with the police in these set-up frame job operations, and also trying to... or she was fabricating lies. One of her lies is I supposedly stole her Jeep Cherokee. Another one of her lies, after asking me to borrow something from her, she says, "Kevin, go in my room, you know where it is, the door's open," saying I broke in her room. Things like this don't make any sense, but they're doing these half-truths to the world on these secret propaganda murder networks, now going on for 42 years, although the worldwide part starts in 1994 when Jason Perlman, my brother, so excitingly called me up and wanting me to see the internet and trying to direct me to places where he could work with mass groups to try to set me up and frame me, as well as kept introducing me to his friends like Mike Huntley, Mike Wexler, Jason Baum, and many others, while they were sort of working on me with the government, trying to make it look like I'm stalking women and all sorts of weird freaky things like this. These are analysts. Mike Wexler working with a 16-year-old named Lynn Junkin at University of Colorado off the IRC channel, Colorado channel, where I would go to group parties of people with all ages, and then Mike Wexler telling me that weird things like statutory rape is below 16, in hopes that he could sort of try to get me to flirt with her or ask her out or try to have sex with her, trying to set me up for statutory rape and things like this. Basically, they failed for, I'm 47 now, they failed for 47 years, and they will do anything in my eradication. And my father, we had a Maggie, English sheepdog Maggie, which had a whole backyard to run around in, which my father for some reason wanted her in this cage instead of running around the whole yard, and they couldn't understand why the dog was really happy when it was running around out of the cage, right? Okay, so the point I'm making, based on my psychological evaluations, based on the types of people my family are, locking dogs in cages for their entire life, or their son in cages, and the psychological shockings, let's call them that. Kevin, I don't want you to go to coffee shops, so every hour 100 people are going to show up with these mass passive-aggressive attacks. Example, 10 black people in black pants and green shirts at the same time, and it'll switch to maybe 40 people walk by going like this or something like that, which I have tons of video proof and evidence of, which the judicial system damn well knows that I have all this proof, and they're angry at me for having proof of being hunted and killed. Tells you everything you need to know. So what I've done here is witness and therapist Brittany Henderson out in Thousand Oaks has witnessed, even in her own parking lot, I have over 600 gigabytes of mass things done with cars and people in the local area, and the coffee shop there like Zuzu or Zoza or something like that, right as you walk in, with Jason Schwetz, the owner of 3717 Thousand Oaks, that office building, basically threatening my life and threatening that I better not tell Brittany Henderson anything about what's going on. Death threats down at the Starbucks there, I had better not talk. Now, most importantly, what you need to understand is that these people threatening my life over and over, even though Jason Schwetz, my brother's name is Jason Perlman, are completely different people, and normally not connected, if you understand what I'm saying. So the point is that these internet-based murder tools built around me in 1994, which before that they were just having people like Kelly Hatch follow me up from city to city. In order to find the city, everyone get together and hunt down, we're going to eradicate Kevin because he's crazy, all working with the government. What you're going to see here is Brittany Henderson, who has witnessed these mass attacks that have been going on since 5 years old, with changing types of terror tactics or setup operations or frame jobs. I should say setup attempts and frame jobs. She's seen what's going on. Now, most importantly, after the lead officer, Sean Dinsey, falsified arrests, falsifying statements, and contacting Terrence Scroggins and Greg Koenig, telling them to hunt me down and that he's going to help to make it look like I'm doing something, and the police play this game like they don't know what's going on and I'm crazy. The police wanting me to seek therapy while the entire psychology community was notified, especially since 5 years old, to lie and say I'm crazy and not talk about what's really going on, showing I've done nothing, especially to justify a worldwide murder operation, which doesn't even make sense, because what would justify that other than building like an atomic bomb and putting it in a football stadium and blowing up and killing like 100,000 people doesn't make any sense. So the point I'm making here is that Brittany Henderson has come forward, one of the very few honest people, talking about the situation for what it really is. And just a note, if I take a walk out here to get some exercise, just like 30 minutes ago, not only will the local groups show up, but the cryptic subtweets and messages, like one person said, not directly at me, but on my timeline. I don't like to go out anymore, and it's just much better to stay in my house and relax or something like that, was really directed towards me to either belittle me, try to trigger me into a reaction, and set me up with these mass worldwide groups and the cryptic space 33 ... or space exclamation point with hundreds of threes on the timelines, and these cryptic messages about threes, which is just one of their thousands and thousands and thousands of tactics, directed me. But the point I'm making is, if I take a local walk here, everyone worldwide within minutes starts posting, and you watch the attacks get more aggressive on social networks and forums worldwide on the internet. And when I'm looking at my timeline, these people aren't my neighbors. They're worldwide groups in Russia, Britain, Japan, you name it. So the connected murder tools built around me, starting in 1994, which there's other tactics they've been using since 5 years old, like that, you can see instantly these instant attacks as I try to go out and live my life until they can get what they want, which is ratchet down more and more to try to get reactions from me to make me look crazy, to lock me away, or collapse my nervous system and kill me. With things, weird, freaky statements from my own mother that people who suffer from anxiety disorders die at a young age, which not only isn't that true, but there is no mental illness to begin with. There's just mass groups hunting me down, trying to exterminate me, torture, kill me, or eradicate me, no matter what it takes, with billions of government dollars since 5 years old. Okay, so what you're going to see here is witness and therapist Brittany Henderson, who has gone to these public locations, just like policeabuse.com did, stating that she sees exactly what's going on, that I'm perfectly stable, perfectly normal, I am not committing any crimes, which endlessly change every day with the judicial system, especially Topanga Division, LAPD out here, telling these people to hunt me down to have me killed, being honest and coming forward, one of the very few, showing that even though the judicial system did whatever it took to try to get me into front of a paid off psychiatrist or psychologist to fabricate lies, while the judicial system is trying to directly contact and violate HIPAA agreements and all sorts of things like that, to get falsified statements to make my eradication look justified. Now, more important than that, you have to think about the ramification and consequences of what would happen if the truth really does get out to the world, to the police, government, psychology community, to just at 5 years old say he has no constitutional rights or protections, everyone get together and hunt him down and kill him because we don't like or trust Kevin Perlman. Okay, so that being said, here is witness and therapist Brittany Henderson on video stating, or us talking about my psychological stability in a psychological evaluation because the judicial system is trying to, like Mike Huntley said at 29 while threatening to have me killed, we are using the system against you in these, we're going to keep psychologically shocking you to death until you're dead and gone, or, yeah, until you're dead or gone, right? Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is Dr. Ronald Barry Perlman is a murderer. Jason Perlman is a murderer. My mother damn well knows what's going on with her husband, Arnold Silver, working on all these angles to coerce me in falsified confessions, like my father putting bullet holes in his 300E Mercedes when I was 16, and then running around saying that I did it and I'm a crazy man and this and that, and other type things like my father working with Paul Humphrey and Mike Huntley, and Paul Humphrey saying, Kevin, I want to see your dad's 357 in his lockbox. They're sort of trying to make it look, to frame me, to make it look like I'm supposedly doing all these things, just like Kelly Hatch and many others were doing. Okay, so recently we had some weird plumbing issues that are directly related to Detective Angela Stewart, the HOA organizations here, HOAorganizers.com, in these, we're going to all get together, hunt down and kill Kevin Perlman. Now, the other things you need to understand is Terrence Scroggins was on the board of the HOA at the time. He was paid off by Sean Dinsey and the LAPD to fabricate statements that I supposedly threatened to kill him, and I'm going after him, and I'm a danger to him while he's following me around over and over, threatening my life with these mass groups and telling me I better not tell anyone in their little more stealth ways, like don't pass out cards to people or else, and things like this, right? So the point I'm making is, we're going to hunt you down and kill you with worldwide support. You don't tell anyone, or we throw you in jail, where they threw me into they snuck me into maximum security prison, Pitches Wayside, which is off the record, but I still have proof of all these things, for misdemeanor charges, and trying to really just do whatever it takes to destroy my credibility, reputation, so that the truth does not come out, and that my mental stability and self-control, I've done nothing wrong, I'm more stable than the average person, and what's going on are actually worldwide murder operations Brittany Henderson has witnessed it. So once again, here it is, Brittany Henderson not only witnessing all across a small portion of Southern California, which is worldwide, all day and night, 24/7, with worldwide, let's just call them mental bludgeonings, which I have something like 15 Southern California police divisions making statements that it's okay to kill people, all recorded. It's okay to kill people if they don't physically touch you and things like that, lying through their teeth while they're trying to silence me, and me showing them direct proof and them refusing to look. So here it is, Brittany Henderson. Here is the psychological evaluation that the police and government would never want to come to light to the public because they don't want the truth coming out, that I've done absolutely nothing wrong, but turn 29, find out that my family's sort of trying to shock me to death mentally until I'm dead and gone since 5 years old in some kind of angry hate, jealous rage, or you're different crime. The you're different crime, right? People who are different than my family need to be hunted, killed, and die. That's what this is all really about with the government, billions of government dollars, the same thing that Adolf Hitler has done, and very similar to slavery, being done by our own United States government of America and the psychology community. Oh, and side note, I have tons of police scanner recordings of this local area all the way down to Van Nuys with statements like possible male mental, possible male mental. There's a person that tried to commit suicide once, follow them around, track them on their cell phones, showing that the Sean Dinsey agenda, which isn't just Sean Dinsey, it is actually global, is that the United States of America with the United States of America government with the psychology community is actually labeling people as mentally ill, trying to hunt them down and kill them or eradicate them and lock them away. And I'm one of the biggest targets of that because this has now been going on for 42 years. And the more I find out, the larger the groups get to come after me to have me hunted, killed, or eradicated for the information that I know and them not wanting me to talk. Hence, Jason Schwetz in 3717 Thousand Oaks Boulevard. I don't know who the guy even is, yet he's threatened my life that I better not tell Brittany what's going on. Okay, so that being said, here is Brittany Henderson's psychological eval and talking about me being a criminal as well. Or supposedly, I should say, supposedly her views on me being a criminal, what she thinks about that.
Brittany, do you think I'm a violent, paranoid, schizo, or criminal?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, do you think I'm paranoid?
I think that it could appear that way at first. I was,
Correct.
No, I was, and like, you were so mad. You see these things.
Yeah, and you've witnessed them. And you agree it's not paranoia, it's angry people. Okay. Yeah, over and over. Verbally, visually, physically, and in same groups of strangers everywhere we've been worldwide, even though it's a small part of Southern California, from Sherman Oaks here to Newbury Park, every single place in mass groups.
I've seen how
And their entire office and parking lot in Thousand Oaks. 600 gigabytes of data of that.
And you're not violent, yes.
Okay, so I'm not violent, I'm not paranoid.
You're not denying them.
Am I a schizo? Okay. And am I a criminal? Okay.
You've done nothing.
And my personality based on our interactions, am I a horrible, mean asshole that used you and forced you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So now I have that question, just even though we've already answered it, I just want to clearly, Brittany, am I forcing you into these statements? Because after all, supposedly I'm also a kidnapper.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You're very kind, you're very nice, you're very respectful.
Okay.
You always have been to me and everyone else.
Okay,
And I've
thank
never
you.
seen you interact. Yeah.
So everything you're saying is on your own free will. I'm not paying you. I am paying you for therapy sessions, but I'm not paying you for. You can say whatever you want. And okay, so
Yeah, no, you're not telling me. You're not. What is the word?
coerced or
Yeah.
forced,
I'm not. No. Or what is it? You're not like.
manipulated.
Yeah, none of that.
I'm not using special magic to implant hallucinations of people hugging me or anything?
No, I'm here and I see my own eyes.
Okay, good. Do you think I'm doing something illegal, a hardened criminal, or a murderer? Okay. And obviously she never have proof, but her expert opinion.
If I thought those things about you, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
If I thought I was a murderer out there, I feel sick.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I know you and I know you would never have to hurt somebody.
Okay. Do you think that the police and those helping them are doing anything illegal? Let's just say that again loudly.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was confirmed by the scene order, right? Like with
Yes, yeah, it was with Vinci. Well, he was being politically correct in the last. He confirmed in our last dialogue in a politically correct, I don't want to get in the middle manner, with Vinci saying I don't agree with his ways, which is psychotic murder and all the other ways. With Vinci's vision and the way he does things. And at one point they were trying to make me think that I'm like Vinci. Okay. And the reason for that was because my marketing style with Erotic Ranch and the websites and this other website for women was a little cavalier, but more on the creative side, not criminal. But the difference is, I'm not dicking with people's lives. I'm going up to people saying, do you want to make money? I don't want 1 cent from you. I'll do all the work. You do the marketing. I'll make sure. I'll try to make you money. Kind of like the Mark Zuckerberg model, but different. And then they're saying, Kevin, you're a criminal and ruining people's lives by me screwing over myself because I didn't make money, and then losing absolutely nothing and getting everything for free.
And how does that make sense?
Right. So.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Help people.
Correct. So there's the apple and orange analogies, like everything else, or comparisons.
Sorry, I have like 1 minute.
Okay. What is it that you think these people are trying to achieve?
Well, it's been confirmed every sign that they want to either institution or to harm you or to, it's like torture.
Complete annihilation of being in existence, right?
They don't want you to be on the streets or whatever.
Correct. And this isn't just the police, it's worldwide groups.
And FBI.
And FBI and
Confirmed also by the
NSA confirmed. He's a little different once again with you than he was with me, but he still won't give a direct answer on anything.
Except when he did say that once he got that.
Yeah, but that's like I told him that FBI has been involved since I was 5. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was all cover up.
He was not. Yeah, he didn't acknowledge that.
Yeah. Remember, he says there's 1 or 2 people. Well, there's 1 or 2 billion people in the Western region. You know, like.
Right.
Do you think that it is acceptable, and what should be done to them as punishment? What do you think? Just your feelings.
It's absolutely not acceptable, and I think that the punishment should be the problem, whatever it may be. I think
Like, for example, someone.
The truth and stop doing
If someone tortures me for 42 years, what do you think? I mean, obviously you can't torture someone back for 42 years,
but what do you think? What do you think should happen? Because that's really what
the very least, life in prison. The very least. Gas chamber. At least for the top dog. Whoever made the decision.
Yeah, so they leave you alone.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
there's several answers. They leave me alone. That's not really a reward to me, but it teaches a lesson. It makes a statement about something so horrific, and to try to make sure it never happens again.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'd be fearful even if they're alone. That somehow or something.
Yeah.
You know.
So people question it. Oh, we can't get worldwide mobs to torture someone their entire lives, right?
Yeah.
Just like Hitler.